Hi, everybody. I'm Coach Michelle with Mindful Marathon. I am a pediatrician, run coach, and founder of Mindful Marathon, where I help make running easy and fun for busy professionals. And today I have a very special guest with me. I have with me Dr. Steffi Campbell, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me. I am a board certified dermatologist and dermatologic surgeon. I'm also a wife, a mom of two little ones, and like you, I'm also a runner. I help in my clinical practice, I help adults and children who are suffering from the burdens of skin conditions, whether it's medical or cosmetic, that's affecting their quality of life, to look and feel confident in their skin. I also have a special interest in empowering women who are moms to look and feel their best so that they can confidently go out to pursue their ambitions.
I love it. I love what you do. So, Dr. Steffi, I'm so glad that you're here with us today. We are going to talk about some of the common skin issues that affect runners and walkers. So, can you tell us what you see most often in your clinical practice?
Yes, so the most common conditions I see in runners and walkers are premature aging of the skin, precancers, and skin cancers. They're super common skin conditions that occurs when you don't have some protection and you're out. And runners, you could be a long distance runner or just out for a quick walk. But sun protection is especially, I think, especially important in those who are active and outdoors a lot. And so those skin conditions like precancers and skin cancers, they really just can develop over a long period of time. So it's super important to have sun protection during exercise.
All right. So, Dr. Steffi, you were talking a little bit about sunscreen. Can you tell us, as far as what number SPF we need to be using and how often we should be applying sunscreen, and just elaborate a little bit about how we need to use sunscreen most effectively?
Sure. So the number on the SPF you want to look for is a minimum of 30, and that's the recommendations from the American Academy of Dermatology, is at least an SPF of 30. And I would apply it at least once in the morning, but I also, for runners, it'll be important to reapply, especially if you're going on long runs. So when you're choosing a sunscreen, you want to look at not only the number, like the SPF number, but also what the ingredients are in there. So you
Okay.
asked about the having your sunscreen in your moisturizer.
Yeah. So usually what I use in the morning is a moisturizer that has SPF 30 in it, and that's usually what's on when when I go for a run, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that is okay or if I should be using a separate product that is just sunscreen.
the sunscreen. Yes, and that's an excellent question. And the number is important, but also what's important is what the ingredients are in the sunscreen. So there's lots of different ingredients that you'll see from chemical sunscreens like avobenzone, benzophenone, and there's tons of other names that you'll see like on the back of ingredients. I always
Mhm.
encourage my patients to look at what the ingredients are that they're applying. There's also the physical sunscreen ingredients like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. A lot of times in makeup, there's titanium dioxide, like powders, or
Mhm.
there is that ingredient there. But for runners, the best ingredient that you want is going to be zinc oxide. It's going to be
Okay.
something that's broad spectrum. So you want your sunscreen to say broad spectrum. And
Mhm.
that basically means it's protecting you from UVA and UVB, which is that's going to be your best bet, because UVB is the wavelength that is shorter, that burns your skin, and UVA is what's responsible for more aging of the skin. It has deeper penetration. So sometimes You may see some sunscreens that only protect you against one UV spectrum and not the other. So you definitely want something that's broad spectrum.
Okay.
And zinc oxide is great, but it has its fallbacks. And one of the reasons why people may not really like applying zinc oxide is because it has that white, pasty kind of texture.
Yeah.
What I like to use is a tinted zinc oxide, so you don't have that white cast on your face.
Yeah.
But that would be the best broad spectrum protection.
Okay. And then as far
Yeah.
as the number, so we should be using at least an SPF 30. Is it okay to use higher, or is it just not as necessary? Or what would you recommend as far as the number?
Yeah, so I would, it's okay to go higher than 30. That would be
Mhm.
totally fine. So you
Okay.
just want to use like the minimum of 30, and just choose the one that that you like, that's cosmetically uh, like satisfying to you, that works. And so that way you'll want to apply it every day.
Okay, no, that's great advice. I just thought of something that you will appreciate. In a long, a long race in the sun,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I had two tips for how to carry some sunscreen with me, and one is that I squirted a little bit in a Ziploc baggie and put it in my pocket to reapply, like in the middle of the race, and the
Yes.
other was to put some in like a contact lens case and put it in your pocket and reapply. Like this is for like a marathon or something where you're going to be
Yeah.
out for, a couple hours.
Yes, definitely. And I have some skin tips for you as well. And that includes actually
Oh,
um, on the go sunscreen.
oh, yes.
So
Oh, please tell us. So you have some
okay.
tips.
So I was thinking about, marathons, and I've done a few marathons. It's been a while since I had my last marathon because I took a little break after during pregnancy and after nursing and all that stuff, but I'm kind of getting back into it.
Okay.
But I do remember, when you're going on a long marathon, do you wear those like backpacks, or not backpacks, maybe like a fanny pack, or
Mhm.
like you have an area where you can kind of stash some stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Okay. So my first tip is what you mentioned of when you apply your sunscreen as a marathon runner, it's not going to really protect you and last throughout
Whole
your
race.
whole run, right? Your whole race. So, and you mentioned that you squirted some into is it a Ziploc bag? You said,
Yeah, I have a Ziploc
yeah,
bag, and then I also heard from another runner to put it in a contact lens case, and I thought that was
yeah,
a little bit cleaner.
yeah, yeah. And I guess it depends on what kind of space you have, right? I mean, how
Mhm.
much? Well, there is this little. You see that?
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
And it comes in a small, it's
A
like a
stick?
almost like a mini deodorant, so
Yeah.
this is just
Oh,
it's blue lizard, and
awesome.
it's 20% zinc oxide. You just twist it and you can apply it.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
that would be a good
Yeah.
something that you can. They really should sell like a tinted version too, and I think that would be. I have to look to see if there is a tinted one available, but this one is just Blue Wizard,
Okay.
20% zinc oxide. The other thing that I like to use, and not just for running, is I carry this in my purse all the time. So I have a and this is actually one that I sell in my skincare line, but it is a brush
Okay.
like that has like powder,
Mhm.
and it has 24% zinc oxide and 22.5% titanium dioxide.
Okay.
And you just basically, I'll show you, brush it on your face. It's not as reliable in terms of like the uniform, um,
Right.
applying it uniformly as like the regular cream or the stick,
Mhm.
but it's still a really good way to reapply. Especially if you have makeup on, you're going to work and you have sunscreen, and then you have makeup over, and you don't want to apply like a thick cream over it. You can use like this brush, or the brush on sunscreen
Oh, yeah,
powder.
that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have
Sure.
recommendations for like a hat or a visor or,
Yes.
something like that?
You led right into my next tip.
Okay.
Okay. So So I have a couple of different examples to show you because
Okay.
I'm really big on sun protection when I'm running. Um, I'm kind of a visor wearer, but if you're someone who has um, thinning skin on the top or thinning hair on your
Hmm.
scalp, then I would advise to wear a hat and not a visor,
Hmm.
especially true in men,
Yeah.
because I've seen so much skin cancer on the top of the scalp.
Okay.
So number one is a visor, a normal looking visor, but the bill is a lot longer.
I see.
So
Yeah.
I would do something that's a lot longer,
Hmm.
and one that's uh, has UPF sun protection.
Okay.
And they also sell the visors that are also wider and not just longer. So you can actually get the bills that are have a lot more protection, like wider brim.
Hmm.
So there's that, and there's also ones that are, they're all demo it for you.
Thank you. This is great.
So this is,
Oh,
so I
wow.
have,
Okay.
yeah, I have, and it kind of straps in the back like that. And you have like a wider brim as well as a longer. So
Yeah.
that's the, well, and also like when you're running, you don't really you want to wear a hat that has good protection, but
Hmm.
also that doesn't like move around so much on your head, something
Yeah.
that doesn't distract you.
Right.
And so I think finding the right one that suits your head circumference and your, I guess, fashion sense
Yeah. Yeah.
would be great. The last one I want to show you is one that is kind of silly. My husband makes fun of me for it, but it
Oh, oh, wow.
so I don't know if you'd really wear this, but I actually do wear it, like
Okay.
especially if I'm going to the beach,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
or if I'm going, on the water or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's basically, it looks like a welding,
Yeah.
but you can't see from an outside perspective, you can't see through it, but
Okay.
I can see you, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
And so you just strap it over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
think
and
I'm
you
gonna
can
have,
get this
mhm.
on Amazon, you can get it at a lot of different places.
I'm probably gonna have to invest in a wider brim. This is because I have a couple of visors, but I don't think
Mhm.
they're very, yeah, I don't think they provide as much coverage as I probably should. All right. All right. I love all of the visor tips. Okay. Now, do you have a third tip for us?
My third tip is for long runners or just winter sports, because you live in a colder climate, right? And
Mhm.
you may run outside sometimes. I live in Oregon. It's rainy all the time here, and it's mostly cloudy on most days. But
Mhm.
my third tip is sun protection or skin protection from like just weather and environment, like wind chapped skin, or
Mhm.
just even like if you're doing some kind of winter sport like skiing or anything where you're outdoors where it's really windy, is applying dimethicone.
Oh.
And this is made by a brand called Tizo, but it is an environmental skin protectant.
Mhm.
And so that can protect dimethicone is basically a synthetic silicone, and it is good to prevent skin irritation by providing a barrier to the skin.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
that's
can be
great.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great because we've been having so much snow here this winter, and between the wind and
Uh,
the snow, I'm sure that my face could have used that. For sure. Oh, these are great. Thank you so much for all of these tips. It was really helpful.
you're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, so tell our listeners where they can find you if they want to learn more or read more about sunscreen and skincare.
Of course. My Instagram handle is Dr. Steffi Campbell, and it's Dr. DrSteffi Campbell. And I sell skincare for pregnancy, women who are pregnant, on my website called Derm in a Box, and it's derminabox.net.
All right, I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Dr. Steffi, for being here and giving us lots of great information as we head into the spring and the summer. I know that I will be using all of your tips and checking out my own sunscreen collection as soon as we are done here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. And I am Coach Michelle, and you can find me on my website, which is mindful-marathon.com. There are lots of articles in the blog about running in the sun and how to protect yourself there as well. So check that out. And if you are a beginner runner or you haven't run in a while and you are looking to get back out there, there is a free training plan to download right there from the website. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.